New business opportunities have emerged that can help mitigate carbon emissions on a large scale globally. These opportunities have emerged due to advances in technologies, growth of facilities for carbon storage, and increased availability of climate finance. Carbon can be captured from both industrial sources such as power generation and directly from the outside air. Capturing carbon is complementary to and can be integrated with carbon-free energy generation. Captured CO2 can be utilized for a range of uses, including vertical farming, as well as be sequestered in the ground. There has been rapid progress in several complementary areas, including carbon capture, by a range of technology communities. Here are 4 technology communities that have and are continuing to make considerable progress, but are largely operating independently of each other. This includes the Direct Air Capture, or DAC community, the Carbon Capture, Utilization and Storage, or CCUS community, the Energy Storage community, and finally, the Renewable Energy community. In addition, there are several industrial clusters around the world that have or are developing carbon capture and storage capabilities. Shown here is a simplified schematic of a facility that generates reliable power while creating negative carbon emissions at the same time. This is accomplished by combining a fossil fuel power plant with renewable energy farms, energy storage, and direct air capture, or DAC. By combining these technologies in this way, companies can significantly lower their costs and provide reliable power to their customers. This DAC is very useful in this regard, since the power it consumes can be reduced if needed. For example, if the generated renewable energy substantially declines for a few days and there is no longer enough stored energy available, power to the DAC can be reduced or stopped. Typically, renewable energy will be available most of the year. Therefore, the DAC system can be expected to operate most of the time and enable this facility to generate substantial negative carbon emissions. A very important feature of this configuration of technologies is that it is not dependent on any one technology. There are now multiple options for each technology's area. As a result, companies that want to implement this combination of technologies have many choices and can and should choose their best options. There are several funding sources available to accelerate technology development and scale-up. This includes venture capital, government grants and related incentives, private grant funding, crowdfunding, and loans. To help companies obtain capital to build a facility, online platforms like Puro.Earth help facilitate long-term offtake agreements for the carbon that is expected to be captured and stored by this facility. As well, to make investments in substantial projects more attractive to investors, these projects can be refinanced with green bonds after they are operational and generating income. Here is a map of industrial clusters in many different areas of the world. Each contains a group of industrial facilities and includes infrastructure to transport captured CO2. The cost of DAC is quite high at this time, but is declining quickly. For example, the cost of capturing and sequestering a metric ton of CO2 in the new plant by Climeworks in Iceland was reported to be in the range of $600 to $800. Some DAC companies have indicated to us that they expect to be able to capture CO2 for less than $100 per ton when their respective technology is being implemented on a commercial scale. The combination of advancing technologies, declining costs of these technologies, new locations to cost-effectively store CO2, and increased availability of funding is creating huge new business opportunities for individuals and companies. If you are interested in more information, please visit climatesand.org/ACEM.